everyone, Diana here with your weekly psychic soul messages and predictions for the week of October the 28th to November the 3rd. Obviously, I'm on the road again and just kind of pulled off here in a parking lot to give you your messages. I'll get back home not too much longer, but I was tired and thought, well, I better pull over because by the time I get home, I'll be too tired to talk with you. So this week, oh my gosh, what we've seen over this last week, the bombs that were sent to former presidents and first ladies, the Clintons and the Obamas, to the vice presidents, Joe Biden and his family, and to others. Expect more of this between now and the elections. And then this morning I heard on the radio that there was a horrific, another shooting. Oh, my friends, I can't stress enough two things. One, I want to give you some more information on intuition to help you stay safe, because I think intuition is what's going to keep us safe and what's going to change the world, because that intuition comes from that deeper love. And we'll talk about that. But I also want to start with first telling you, I'll get into a little bit more of what to expect between now and the election, but basically it's going to be more violence and more horrendous ugliness. And let's not contribute to that. Let's keep ourselves safe. But let's not contribute to the anger, to the rage. Let's not contribute to the fear. Let's contribute to the love. And let me tell you how you can do that, or what's going on here, okay? In one of my books, The Found Child, this is a fiction book. The subtitle says this is a work of fiction, or is it? And you get to decide. However, in that book, it's a story, but the character goes through a near death, and in that time does visit spirit world, and also gets to see what happens before we come back into life. So that said, I want to tell you what happens before we come back into life. As humans, we do not necessarily choose our life, but as souls, when we are in spirit world, we do choose the issues we want to work with. We choose those things that we want to heal in ourselves, in our soul line, in our ancestry, and in the world. And we do this by healing ourselves. Now, let's think of it like we go to an airport. So let's say the airport is life. So we have to go into that airport. However, our free will comes in when we decide which plane to get on. And so even though we choose as souls to come into life, that's also free will, then what happens is we get to choose the airplane we get on once we're in human life. So, for example, in my life, I came in to heal the abandonment script and betrayal. And if I look back at my whole ancestry, which is predominantly Celtic, Irish, Scottish, Scot-Irish, and there's some Delaware in there. And I look back at that ancestry, and it's all about betrayal. And so as I heal the betrayal in my life, then that helps heal my ancestors. So all of us chose to come in at this particular time in history. And we chose to heal our issues so we can then help heal the world and take it into a more loving existence. And you've heard me say it many times. Love is an active verb. Take the action of love. Don't let fear overtake your life. Don't let anger overtake your life. Let love overtake your life. Does that mean we do not speak up and speak out? Absolutely. We have a right to speak up and speak out if that is on our soul's promise. We don't have to. And I've told many clients, you need to back off of watching the news. You need to back off because it's hurting your health. But not all clients. Some were able to deal with it. But deal with it with love. What do I mean by that? I think it's necessary to point out and correct or change that which is harming others. You know, I was accused recently by one of you of deleting your comment. And I will tell you, I have deleted very few, but a couple of comments. Let me tell you those what they were that I deleted. Because quite frankly, the person who wrote me, the name wasn't familiar. And most of you who make comments, I feel like I know you after so many comments in so many weeks. And also that person's story wasn't familiar, so I'm not sure what's missing there, but I'm not sure it has anything to do with me either. But I do delete porn. I don't want that energy on my Facebook or on Facebook too, or Twitter. I will delete porn. I will certainly on my YouTube, on this channel, I will delete porn. I will also delete if there's a whole bunch of curse words. It's just, I don't want that energy. I will also delete if there are a lot of hate words. I don't want that energy on in my life, or I don't want that energy on the channel, nor to affect any of you, because you're my viewers and I'm very protective of you. I also, if there is a threat made against any of my viewers, or harm is said, or there's an argument that's harming them, or threat to me or harming me, those are the things I delete. Do I delete you if you disagree with me? No, but if I have the time and the energy, I may write back and disagree with you. Obviously, if we disagree, we disagree. Okay, that says more about you and more about me. Now, that said, I don't hate anyone. I don't hate any action, not even evil actions. Dislike? Oh yeah. Hold someone's foot to the fire? You betcha. And I will continue to do that. You know, I want to give you more information on developing your own intuition. And it has to do with Philip, my spirit guide. In the Awakening to Your Deeper Intuition workshop, which I have room for just a couple of more, but it's very, very close. In fact, it starts before this week is out. So if you are interested, get a hold of me right away, and we'll see if those couple of spots are still open and we can fit you in. But I highly recommend that you work with a spirit guide, an angel, someone in spirit world, but only from a point of love. You know, the problem with intuition is we don't always know if the messages are correct. That takes developing and refinement to make sure you get those messages correct. And we will get a message from Philip, but I want to give you some other information on intuition first. A couple of you, or several of you actually, have asked me, please do a DVD or video or a live feed or an online class on your intuition course. I can't. I can give you a lot of information, but the intuition course, we work together and we go very deep. We actually do work with the third eye. We open it in new ways, and it's exciting, but we also have to make sure we open that third eye safely. The problem, as I started to say with intuition, and wanted to give you a little information before I say this, intuition can give us false statements, and that's not information. That's not in our intuition. That's more of, it may be wishful thinking, or how do we interpret it. It's also when we first start really opening the intuition, or before it's developed and refined, we get a lot of false information that we don't know what to do with. That's why I am so big on working with a teacher. And that's why you really can't do what I do in an online course. It has to be in person. So I will tell you this one in Ohio. It's the first one I've done in 2 years in Ohio, but I will be doing one in Wisconsin in May, around Madison. So I will be up there in May, and I will be up there for programs in April to tell you a little bit more about the intuition. I'll be doing my Sacred Circle up there in April, and I will post it on my website. We'll be at Peaceful Heart. Now, that said, the reason I say work with a spirit guide or angel or someone you trust in spirit world, but if you work with the person, such as some people prefer starting with a grandparent or a teacher or a parent even that they knew in this life, and I say that's great, but work with their highest self. Because if you ever get a message that is not one of love, if you ever get a message that tells you to hurt yourself or someone else, that is not your intuition. That is someone, if you ever get that information, you need to seek help, because that is not coming from love. That is not coming from the God source. When we're in a group, it's easier to develop that intuition because you have the group energy, and it's also much easier to dig into your meet your spirit guide. And I always say, meet the communicator, because we have multiple spirit guides around us and multiple angels. And it's like being in a room and getting all kinds of information in. We need someone who can translate it. We need someone who can talk to us in the language we can understand. Philip, you can use Philip. He'll be happy to work with many people. I know people who use me. I've used my teachers in the past. All of that is allowed because we're here to help one another. But always zone in with love. If not, we don't ever want to do harm to another person. And I will tell you another story real quick, that there was a time when I felt someone, it was an old boyfriend, was trying to keep track of me. And once I picked up on that, and I tend to pick up on that pretty easily, I had to ban his energy entirely. And so there are ways of doing that, and I don't want to necessarily publicize how to do that, but if you need to do that type of thing, I can work with you privately if you do want a private reading. And for those of you who are my clients, thank you so much for being here. I'm so grateful. But posted below is information for you. But very easily, the best thing you can do if someone's trying to harm your energy is just simply say a prayer to your divine source and ask for protection. That's the easiest way. Ask your angels to hold you. Okay, this is an oracle book, and so we have a wisdom on every page. It's different, so we think left page, right page. And I'm going to give you the oracle, and then I do want to give you a little bit more about this week. Okay, here we go. Left page or right page? Got it? You're thinking? Okay. I'm going to put my finger there, but that's not the only message we're getting today. So I'm going to keep going, and there's the next one. Okay, on this first one, I am getting the left. And so I'm going to read that. When all else is lost, you still have yourself. This is for those of you who are grieving. This is for those of you who, in the horrific weather that we've had, it is for you to know that you still have yourself. For those of you who have lost loved ones, it is for you to know you still have yourself. And I think that is a message directly for those of you who have been so damaged by all that is going on in our country and in our world. On the right side, it says, every book begins with a blank page. We have to write a new book, and that's not easy. But we want you, all of those of you who have been devastated over the last week or so, or month, or who are going to be facing horrific challenges over the next few weeks, we want you to know our hearts, our thoughts, our prayers, our healing energy are being sent to you by everyone who comments below. You noticed that they're all sending so many are sending love. That's also for you. Or Daisy, my beautiful four-legged one who isn't with me today, and certainly for all of the two-legged ones as well as the four-legged ones. Now let's see what else we were getting. And I want to say, again, I was getting left, but I always like to read both pages. But this is our other message. As you increase your awareness of life, you also increase your ability to have more of life. As you increase your awareness of life, you also increase your ability to have more of life. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. And with intuition, it keeps us safe. It helps us really dig into our lives, and it helps us be able to explore life and understand life at such a more beautiful level. And here's on the right side. Unless you see beauty through your eyes, you will not see it in far-off lands. Unless you see beauty through your eyes, you will not see it in far-off lands. You know, so many people call and say, should I keep this job? And then they tell me what's going on with the job and why it's a problem right now. And I say, the problem is if you can change jobs, but until you heal this, you're going to take that same issue to your next job. So we have to see beauty in our own lives. You know, we can sit around all day and hope and pray and ask our administration to stop the hate rhetoric, to stop the ugliness. That's not going to change. So it's going to be up to each of us to build a place of love. Almost all change comes from the bottom up, not from the top down. And I've seen that in my lifetime over and over and over. So my friends, this week I want you to be extra safe. So I want you to pay extra attention to your surroundings. Stay in awareness. Very, very important. Over this week, between now and the elections, there's going to be a lot more going on. There are going to be more shootings. There's going to be more rioting. There's going to be more harm done with firearms, with guns. That's not going to change. That's going to escalate over the next couple of weeks. That's why it's important to use that intuition, not out of fear, but out of love. And if it tells you to go left and you normally go right, go left. If it tells you, it'll keep you. Your intuition, if you live in that place of love, it will keep you from being in the wrong place at the wrong time and help you to be at the right place at the right time, whether you do so consciously or not. So, my friends, be careful, stay safe, speak out in love, and act out in love. And let's be generous this week. Where I'm living, you can tell probably that it's I don't know if you can tell, I can tell it's raining. You might even have heard some of the raindrops on the roof of the car here. But it's kind of chilly. And so, you know, I love the idea that I passed along on my Facebook page recently. And also last weekend when I walked into a Walmart, there were young women collecting socks. And then I came across on my Facebook page where a group, they put in plastic bags a little money, socks, some snacks, and give it out to the homeless. It's getting colder. Please remember the homeless in your community and the shelters. Well, my friends, I love you. From Daisy and the other four-legged ones and all the two-legged ones, we love you. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for adding love to the world. Bye for now.